The issue of global leadership for G20 summits is that in the past, the G20 summits have allowed themselves to be overwhelmed by the ministers of finance agenda. Well, why is that? It's because the G20 was brought into being because of the global financial crisis, so it's a little hard to dodge the issue. But on the other hand, we are now 2 years out from the 2008 original summit that got the G20 summits going. So what has happened in London, Seoul, and Toronto is that the currency wars and other issues about fiscal consolidation versus additional stimulus have essentially overwhelmed the summits and revealed more about policy conflicts among members of the G20 than it has consensus and clear leadership stance on the part of the summit leaders themselves. So my proposal has been that in future summits, in Cannes, I doubt it's going to happen because the euro crisis is so on the agenda, is that the leaders lead, that they differentiate themselves from the finance minister's agenda, delegate some of the more technical aspects that have to do with currency wars, exchange rates, and fiscal policy back to the ministers of finance, and that they pick up some issues themselves that are more related to people. The problem with the financial crisis is that a lot of the measures that are taken are either technical macroeconomic issues or they're issues directed at bank regulation and at banks and bankers. They're not for people. In the end, it's for people because you want to have financial stability which protects the public from all the costs of unemployment, reduced pensions, housing crises, and the like that come from this boom and bust cycle that the financial markets have imposed on the real side of the global economy. So by focusing on these economic and financial issues, leaders are tangling themselves up, first of all, with technical issues that belong at a different level, and second of all, with elites, with bankers, with policymakers and the like, and not identifying themselves with the angst and urgent feelings and concerns of the public. And so the proposal I have, for example, there is an investment action plan for infrastructure as part of the G20 agenda for Cannes. And it seems to me that the leaders could make a lot more of this than they have so far. Instead of just approving this, I think they might actually make a lot of it in the same way that Franklin Delano Roosevelt made a lot of the Works Progress Administration, the public works element of the New Deal, which was a job creation program. Here, you have not just a job creation program, but an investment-led idea of increasing infrastructure in advanced and in emerging market and developing countries so as to generate jobs, but also generate incomes in the future. It makes perfect sense. But more than that, it's a heartthrob kind of issue. It's an issue which the public can identify with it because it has to do with their incomes, their jobs, their futures. It doesn't have to do with controlling bankers so that they don't experience future losses in income because of still another financial crisis. So it seems to me that leaders really need to sort of get their agenda focused more on what is their role in the system, which is to lead in behalf of the public interest and not get tangled up in issues like exchange rates, financial regulatory reform, and things of this sort, which the details of which are meaningless to the public and don't resonate with the public concerns and anxieties.